jump in and get started because we got a bunch. Usually we banter, but we got a million questions. So let's
we're still gonna banter. That's why you guys are here. Come on, you can find everything on YouTube. You're here for us.
Oh wait, right. Isabella says you didn't get your.
You scared me.
Oh Lord. All right, so Isabella says, hello, how are you?
We're spectacular.
Isabella,
Thank you, Isabella.
We're really good. Thank you.
We really appreciate that. Everyone always asks about the puppies.
We're
doing good too.
We're doing good too. All right, well, you got sunburned or something, didn't you say? Is that what
No, I'm going for my second COVID shot tonight, though. Boom. Gonna be out for 2 days. All right, so we're gonna go with TikTok first, just because it's one of our newer platforms that we're doing the lives on, and want to show our love for you guys. So whenever I bring my dog outside to throw balls, she never runs after them. She used to love them. Is she just bored? Oh, Bethany, this is you. You do more of the fetch than I do.
Okay, well, again, just a reminder out there, TikTok, the breed and age of your dog is really helpful. If she used to play ball, though, and now she's not, you kind of, usually we don't talk about building drive. That's why he threw this one to me, because I do build drive in dogs. You know how, you just don't like to. But anyway, what you want to do is find something with a bit more incentive. So squeaky ball. We won't talk about why dogs like toys that squeak and what they sound like, but that is a way to motivate your dog.
That's our squirrel.
Stop it. This is TikTok. This is like a platform that may not be ready for that yet. They may not be ready for this level of honesty yet.
Watch a lot of TikTok. We're ready for it.
Oh, okay, my bad. So anyway, get a ball that squeaks, or even a tug toy that squeaks, because a tug toy can be a bit more interactive. That way the dog really starts to understand that, oh, I play with a toy with you. But anyway, you just need to build some drive. Stop throwing the ball such a strong distance. So whatever toy you're using, throw it just a couple of feet. As soon as they pick it up, good job, come, and really motivate them to come back to you quickly, and then build the length of how long you're throwing it. The other thing I would say is stop playing before your dog or puppy gets tired if you're trying to build drive, because when the dog gets tired after maybe 5 minutes, if they don't have a lot of drive, and then they're just starting to ignore you, it's a bad habit. So if you're wanting to build a little bit more stamina, a little bit more drive in your dog, you want to end when the dog is still like, we're gonna play, right? And it's like, nope, the toys go away. Oh, that's another thing, really quick, and then we'll stop. Don't leave toys out. Toys are supposed to be about relationship. Take advantage of a toy to build a relationship with your dog. There should be no toys sitting out in your house except for maybe like a chew toy that you give occasionally. You go and get the toy from the cabinet, you play with the dog or puppy, and then you put it away. That's a really good way to just build that connection with your dog as well.
So like a special toy, like the special fetch toy. It's got all the like little ropey frillies on it, so when your dog sees it.
Ropey frillies, TikTok.
It's got little ropey thingies that the dog loves.
You know what? Why don't you stay in your lane?
I don't need your judgment,
just
okay?
stay in your lane. Let's move on.
Obedience, that's my lane. Okay, next. My puppy is terrified of his leash and will not walk on it at all ever since he was small. Is there a way to get him to walk on the leash?
Aww.
Well,
Bummer.
Right? One, the first thing I do is I just let them drag around the leash in the house.
Yeah.
Put it on a harness, not the collar. A lot of times you put it on the collar, it's stifling to them.
For a
puppy. Put it on the harness, yeah, for a young puppy.
Older dogs, 6 months and older, you can do flat collar.
Because you can allow them kind of drag around so you have more control over them. But for a
puppy, this does say
little puppy, and since she was small, so it's been a thing for a while, let her drag around on the harness around the house. It's just one of the easier ways of getting them used to it. And then every 20, 30 minutes or so, ask for like a sit or a come or something like that, give them a treat for it. You're just building up focus and you're building up a level of comfort around that leash.
Yeah. And do a little bit of both in the sense of work your puppy without the leash on in the house, and then also work your puppy with the leash on in the house. If they won't follow you around the house with food on leash, they're certainly not going to do it outside. So it sounds like you need to build up some confidence with your puppy. Potentially, that's all it is. All it is. That's a big deal. So start in the house, then in the backyard, then in the front yard, in the garage, in the driveway, in your foyer if you live in a condo, before you're trying to do it outside. One more quick thing that can be really useful is taking your dog to a park. So instead of trying to take a walk in the neighborhood where there might be scary dogs behind fences, or loud noises if you live on a busy street, get in the car, go to a park, work them at a park. One more side note, if your dog is over 6 months old, some dogs really, really hate harnesses. If that's what you're using, it makes them feel like this. My little dog Happy hates them. She has to wear one because she's older and she's got a bad neck, but she's always been just stuffy, like acting like she can't move. And she's used to it and takes food and all of that, but she's still ornery about it. So if your dog is a larger breed dog or older than 6 months, try a slip leash or try something else to start with. And then again, take them to the park, do something different with them. But if your dog's not gonna listen to you in the house on a leash, they're definitely not gonna be able to do it outside. So build food drive, build that connection inside first. Hey, we're not too bad at answering these fairly quickly.
Yeah, right.
It's not bad. It's not bad. If you guys usually watch us before, this is not bad.
Can you explain food drive really quick?
No, I got to go to the next
You got it. You got to explain food drive. It's a
food drive
trigger.
is them caring about food. So getting, I don't want to say excited, that's the bad word, but dogs sometimes motivated. Dogs sometimes have to get, see, this is why we take so long.
I know, I got to bring it out there.
Dogs sometimes don't understand that they need to work for their food because we haven't shown them how to do that. And I mean just regular, not necessarily treats. So working them regularly for their food in the house builds an understanding for them of I look to you for food, I work for food. It builds those habits, it builds that drive to work for food, not excitement, not pets. It's not what I'm talking about. It's just building the habits of working for food, and then you can transition that to outside where you might need a little excitement and more motivation to get them to listen, especially with fear issues.
In a dog that has low food drive, we usually say pull back on the amount of affection that you give. So they want to earn that food a little bit more because that's their source of getting your attention.
That's a good point.
That's all I knew with that. And those are TikTok ones.
Yeah.
All right, let's tag back to our Instagram people. So the Doodle Girls, is it normal for puppy to regress in training crate at 6 months?
Oh, you like this?
Absolutely. Oh, I love this one. This is me, guys. This is my thing. All right, so yeah, it's adolescence.
His thing is your puppy's regressing.
This is what pays for my car. It's adolescence, guys.
Did you guys
yes,
what
absolutely.
pays for your car?
Yes. Adolescence pays for my vehicle. So what that basically is when dogs start hitting adolescence, they go through a stage where like all that time you spent training, they forget it. It like leaves them momentarily. But stick with it. Go back to extra crate time. Go back to leash in the house. Go back to more structure, more training.
Be firmer.
Yes, be firmer. Less love, more training. That balance, that ratio. Higher training, less affection, and they will earn back into it. Are you back away because all my swinging arms?
Stop. Get out. So stop trying to use excitement like you did with a puppy to get your adolescent dog to listen. They need to start respecting you a bit more. But all those good habits, they didn't totally forget them.
They just pretend like they did.
They just went dormant. They went into hibernation.
They went dormant.
So you need to be a bit more assertive. Stop repeating yourself so much. You can still use food, but you're not like, please come, yay, this is so much fun. They forget all about you.
Stern voice.
Yeah, more stern voice.
I call it the mom and dad voice.
You got to switch
Bring
it
it
up.
out.
You got to switch it up.
Perfect. That was actually a pretty short one. All right, I'm proud of us.
You could have talked about that forever. He loves that question.
She's not lying. All right, Doodle Girls, we're going to come back to you in a second. All right, Life with K, 9-week golden doodle. Love the age. We appreciate you guys. Will be a student soon. Oh ho ho.
Pressure.
How do we stop play biting and nipping?
9 weeks old.
Yeah, 9-week-old.
Start working for food right away. So transition some of that driviness to see your hands and sleeves as something to nip at.
One second, there's part two. Let me go over the part two. It's the same thing. We try to give him something he can play with, alternative, but doesn't always work. So you're already trying to redirect the focus. Which is good to attempt. Some dogs will easily do it.
Nice attempt out there.
Some dogs may not. So I feel she's explained some spatial pressure in a second.
Yeah, well, 9 weeks old though. He's a baby. So what I would like you to do is really, before we talk about spatial pressure and saying no, because puppies already know the word no. They know it in dog language from their siblings and hopefully from their mom if they had a good mom. And then we bring them into our homes and then we kind of get rid of no for a while because they're this cute little puppy. But you can say no. We're going to talk about how to do it. But the first thing I want you to do is change some relationship dynamics in the house. So what I mean by that is one meal a day with your puppy. I want you to walk around the house with the food in a food pouch. And I want you to just say your dog's name and come. So it's like, Doodle, come, good, handful of food. Doodle, come, good, handful of food. Just walk around the house. They should be following you after a few days, if not right away, like crazy. Then the next, we call it the relationship game. Then the next level to that is Doodle, come, sit, good, and then give a release word. We use break, so if you're coming here, why don't you go ahead and use break, and then you put a few pieces of kibble on the floor, and then give distance. When they eat all the kibble, Doodle, come, good, sit, break. And so you layer on this idea of seeing your hands and the way that you're interacting with your puppy, they just start to view you a different way versus when they're already mouthing you and then you try to go grab a toy and you're just redirecting to more mouthing and chewing. They don't really change their perception of how they view your hands. So that's why this game can be really useful, because the next step, which is what Sparky mentioned, is a little bit of spatial pressure work. So if I'm walking through the house and my puppy, even 9 weeks old, jumps up on me, I'll very gently just kind of move into them a little bit with my leg, probably not my hands. I probably stand up, move in a little bit with my leg. But then I can ask for a sit. And they know this pattern. They understand this pattern of come, sit, food, because you've built some muscle memory over the course of a few days. The big thing is you can move into them a little bit. That's spatial, like spatial work. You can move into them a little bit and just, hey, sit, good. Freeze your feet, because movement causes stimulation. Just like petting causes stimulation, movement causes stimulation. So you freeze, sit, good, pause for a few seconds, then try to take a few steps. So anyway, just take that nice and slowly. We'll get more into that obviously when you come. Your puppy is so young though, we're much more inclined to do more food work, more structure, more crate time, more waiting in crate for permission to come out, waiting at thresholds, waiting for food bowl, like impulse control. You can go ahead and start doing all of those things right now before we start layering in more actual spatial pressure and no work at that puppy's age. But you'll be so surprised if you do a little bit of this come, sit, break. You'll be so surprised how quickly you can be like, hey, knock it off, sit, and they'll sit, because it's muscle memory, it's habit. So
we teach through repetition.
Yeah.
So the more repetitions you do, the quicker they learn it. 5-10
minutes every morning for their morning food, or afternoon. Morning's better because they're hungry.
The most motivating meal to them tends to be the breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Moving on.
All right, we're gonna come back to, we have one more actually. Jesse, what is one of the best breeds?
He gave up, Jesse.
I didn't even try it. It's because I appreciate you guys. I don't want to butcher your last names. What is one of the best breeds that is hypoallergenic and family friendly as a puppy?
Giving it to you.
Okay, so Doodles tend to be the most hypoallergenic. No dog is truly.
Doodles aren't.
Bernedoodles, they are, but they are at the same time. Bernedoodles tend to have some longer fur, so they shed a little bit more, just like someone with like longer hair is going to shed it more because it weighs more. Yeah. But no dog is truly hypoallergenic, doesn't exist. They still have dander, so I like to break that myth a little bit. But they shed less and they have less dander than normal dog. Just like we shed our hair, comes out in the shower, same thing for a dog. It's just not as often as like a German Shepherd or something. But I would say any kind of doodle mix, short hair doodle, the less the hair weighs, the less it's gonna fall out. But yeah, that's for the most part. And family friendly, I like, Bernedoodles are pretty like relaxed, calm dogs.
Usually.
Yeah, usually. We have a couple of them that aren't, but they tend to be, well, if they're here with us, that's probably why they're not, because, puppy training. Here's
the thing. I'd like to do another myth bust. You said about the dander. give me that golden doodle stuff. So it's not a myth. Golden doodles can be great family dogs, but what Sparky and I keep running into is people accidentally think that they just are good family dogs. And no, as puppies, any poodle mix tends to be really wild, and golden retrievers are pretty intense breeds themselves as far as wanting to be active, wanting to do things. We tend to see calmer labradoodles, but we don't get as many of those in.
Yeah, golden doodles are most common.
Golden doodles are so common, and they are wild sometimes, really, really wild. And I think it's accidentally because it's like, I'm getting this nice family dog. It's like, no, if it's a puppy that you're getting, it still takes a lot of work in order to get that golden doodle to be a good family dog. If you want to talk about like aggression and tendencies towards aggression, then yeah, no, they tend to not have that, but they are just really wild, and that can be really frustrating for owners. And so I want you to keep that in mind, is that if we give some advice on family dogs, they still have to be raised to be family dogs.
They just happen to do it a little bit quicker than other dogs.
Yeah, yeah.
And I mean, doodles in general, they're actually like Bernedoodle, or not Bernedoodles, but like golden doodles, they were bred to be service animals and emotional support dogs. That was 50 years ago. It's kind of moved away from that as they become more of that family dog.
A little
which
bit,
means
maybe
that
a little overbred.
A little bit, yeah. They've actually been bred more to have that higher energy, to match the energy level of mom, dad, and 2 young kids that are always on the move and always doing something. Yeah. This dog will keep up. But like Bethany was saying, you have to train them. You have to get them to that point. Impulse control is huge with the puppy.
It can be really challenging with the golden doodles. I would say like family friendly, an easy, well, I don't want to say there's any such thing as an easy dog, but it's like pugs, King Charles Cavalier Spaniels, greyhounds. What are some other breeds that are just good family, easier family dogs? They're all working dogs, guys, so they can all be wild.
Yeah. I like Jack Russells for young dogs.
You're
come on,
family
Jack
friendly.
Russells.
A Jack Russell. Don't listen to him. Don't.
We had one. He was a great dog.
Don't listen to him. Don't listen.
Awesome.
We're gonna move on because we have very different opinions of easy family dogs.
Oh, no. Easy? No, not
don't
easy.
Don't you dare.
But they're great family dogs.
Well, I added in easy. When people say family friendly, they do not want a Jack Russell Terrier.
I see family friendly. I didn't see easy.
I have nothing against them, by the way. They're just very challenging, and they're bred to, track down and annihilate rodents. So that can be challenging.
Our hikes are great.
Oh my God. Okay, see, difference of opinion for typical families. Can we move on? All right.
Next.
The Doodle Girls again, I don't know what you read and what you didn't read.
Oh, do you have any recommendations for dog boarding, preferably a place where she won't lose structure while we're gone? Oh, I see why Ricky gave that recommendation now. Okay, so we actually prefer Rover, and then whenever a person goes to the Rover, like the people come to your house where your dog's more comfortable, give them the structure schedule that you found on our DM that we've already sent you guys.
Yeah, DM.
DM, right? PM? DM?
DM, direct message.
Message us on Instagram, and we will give you a structure schedule.
People are getting tired of us sucking at that.
However you message us, we will send you a structure schedule. You follow it, you teach it, and then you give that to the person for Rover. They're paid to follow the structure that you give, and your dog's already in a comfortable spot.
Okay, so I'm gonna layer onto that. In every city or in every town or something like that, there's different types of boarding, different types of daycare, and so your best bet is to find a place that still does structure throughout the day. It's not just like a daycare all day. There are breaks, there are crate breaks, there are walks, there's downtime,
which is incredibly rare in any city. Anyway, when you're doing urban, it's a little bit easier to find. I'm telling you, I know all the ones local in the South Bay.
He's right. That's why there's not a lot. You need to try to find someone who they do training on property, not just like food training, but they also do structure training. Anyway, it's pretty important. It's pretty important. But anything is better than just taking them to the vet for an overnight, of course. But that's just something I would always look for. Look for someone who also has training knowledge and likes the idea of a structure schedule. So.
Do you guys want to do a video?
Let's do it.
See if they're on.
Because it took us a while to get the last person on, and no one will have to bear with that 5-minute wait time we had last time.
Okay.
So we're just going to keep it up.
Oh, what about here? Katie, you didn't read Katie's, did you?
I did not. No, we still need that one.
Katie,
age. Thank you for the age.
I have a 5-month-old dog. Thank you. It's so helpful. Half of our advice is wrong for certain ages and certain breeds.
It's on there.
Yeah, it's on here. Katie says, do you want me to wait a second?
Yeah, it might just, I know the video is there. We just don't have it on ours yet, so it might just take a couple minutes to get on. We had the same issue last time.
Okay. Let's go through this one
there.
and at least till they come on.
Hello, I have a 5-month-old dog, February. He's mixed with a Husky and Blue Heeler. Oh, bless your heart, Katie. And I'm really having trouble with him because he's hyper and doesn't listen to us at all. Yep. We've tried to train him, but it didn't work at all. Well, Blue Heelers like to control the entire world by biting it. That's their instinct.
Your heel.
And Huskies like to pretend that they don't hear you. They don't hear anything. So I imagine that's probably one of the toughest mixes you could possibly get. So 5-month-old, this is what I want you to do. First of all, I would like you to private message us. Ricky can send you a structure schedule. Now the structure schedule is designed for potty training for early puppies, but you can adapt it. You can lengthen the time, but just get on a schedule. And then I want you working for food for at least 1 meal a day. So you spend anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes in the house with your dog on leash, going through all your basic commands. Let's go, which means turn when I turn, move when I move. Let's go, good. Place, sit down, stay. I want you to go over blocking, which means moving into your dog when you want them to settle down, moving away from your dog when you want them to come to you. You need to revamp all of your basic foundational principles with leash and body language communication. Leash is one of our languages that they don't know. Body language is their communication. So do some research on body language with dogs. Go on YouTube. I can't even imagine how much info you'll find on that. And I want you to spend 5-15 minutes a day working your dog for food. That way you build some good habits, and they need to be hungry. If he doesn't want the food, fine. He doesn't eat for that meal. Wait till the next meal. He doesn't eat, fine. He can wait till the next meal. 3, 4, 5 meals goes by, he's gonna eat. Don't do that all the time, but generally you only have to do it once or twice. Now the dog is like, oh, I'm working with you, rather than trying to find a way to ignore you. Also have your dog drag around a leash in the house when you're supervising your dog, so you can very cleanly set boundaries so it's not emotional. No, grab the dog, get off the couch, pull stuff out of its mouth. You want to be calm, cool, and collected, pick up leash, guide away from the couch or the counter or whatever it is. And so you need to find a way to add more structure in the home, and that's going to help you outside. It starts at home though. That's the main thing. Okay, do you have anything to add?
That was, you surprised me.
I'm trying to be fast.
I also like to attach the leash to my body. If I have like a 6-foot leash, not a 5-foot leash, I'll tie it to my hips. So then the dog kind of follows me around without him nipping at my heels to get me to follow him. I've kind of tied him to follow me.
Yeah, that's good.
It's just an easy way if he's jumping up on everything. Otherwise you're chasing him around, trying to pick up this leash, of which becomes a game too. Tie him to you. You are basically the leader of wherever he goes now.
And it's limited free time. So we're talking like 20, 30 minutes a couple times a day, and the rest of the time you're either working with him, walking him, playing with him, or he's in crate.
If you have a dog that's just going bonkers all the time, you really have to ask yourself, is he getting enough crate time? Is he sleeping enough throughout the day?
And mental stimulation.
Dog in the wild will sleep 18 to 21 hours a day. They only wake up to forage, hunt, and mate. That's it.
Could be overstimulated. Could be too much fun food work rather than calmer, slower mental work. Get your dog to hop on objects. If you got a brick wall in your neighborhood, target a brick wall, not like really high up, but like something low where they can focus on something. Challenge your dog, create some problem solving. Go on YouTube and like problem solving for dogs. Might be understimulated mentally, but overstimulated visually by being out of crate too much. So it's usually some combo of that. Is it not working?
No, but I can't find very good.
Let's go over some
sorry.
of the Google ones first.
I have to apologize. Okay, so the lady that we tried to do a video on, it wouldn't pop up on our main feed. Sorry about that.
She was waiting too.
And she was waiting. Sorry. We're trying. We got it in last week. We got one in last week. It was cool.
Everyone else's but ours is so weird.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering, it might have shown up.
We
on
blame
yours,
Instagram.
but it's not on our main one. I don't know.
All right, cockapoo. 4 months old.
Excited about the cockapoo.
How do we stop Coco the
You have
cockapoo?
too much energy. Too much energy.
I already had my double shot of caffeine. All right, Coco the cockapoo from biting us. I love that. I absolutely love that. Looks like she is seeking attention, but it is pretty aggressive.
Leash is your first thing. So a leash, pressure out and away from you. Hey, settle down, take a chill pill before redirecting to something else can be really useful. Are you teaching stop and wait at thresholds? Are you teaching using the crate door to slow your dog down, wait for permission to come out? What else you got?
Most of the time, demanding behaviors aren't about demanding in the moment. It's about all the things that Bethany just went over. It's not going to fix it if you're like, hey, cut it out. No. The dog's like, okay, cool. Backs off for 30 seconds, comes back for your heel to demand your attention. So you're not going to stop it in the moment. You're better off just kind of like calming down and creating your dog for 30, 45 minutes to cool them off.
Yeah.
But then follow everything else Bethany said, you're developing structure. You're basically teaching a dog that they can't default to demanding, because this is demanding. Seeking attention, but is pretty aggressive. Yeah, they're seeking attention by biting you on the ankle and being like, hey, pay attention.
It's really disrespectful. And it's also, it could be a little bit about what we talked before. I didn't say that right. It could be a little bit about what we talked about before with the blue heeler husky mix. There we go. Pushy dog. Pushy, overstimulated potentially by being out of crate too much, or too much going on when they are out of crate, but not enough mental work. And by mental stimulation, I mean on a leash, working your dog through 5 to 15 minutes of a repetition of commands, not a few sits and downs throughout the day. Controlled small sessions with your dog, and then trying new stuff. Like we recently had a puppy in, I was gonna tell you about this. This is this cute little Bernedoodle puppy that didn't know how to use his back legs. It's like 14 weeks old, didn't even know they were back there. Couldn't jump, couldn't do anything. Just, it was
Did
interesting.
He walk?
Yes, he walked, but like nothing more than that. And couldn't do stairs, you know, all that. Like didn't know they were back there. And so we started having her target a small toy box, and that was really hard for her, really challenging, food and leash pressure, and she'd be exhausted at the end of it, even after a whole week of practicing it. So find interesting, fun things for your dog or puppy to do. So
check your ratios. If the kids are playing with the dog, or you're playing with the dog for 45 minutes as a session,
too much stimulation.
Cut that down to 10 minutes, and then do 10 minutes of training.
Yeah.
They'll be exhausted after, I promise. Not just physically, but mentally, which they'll sleep for twice as long on. Okay.
2 minutes, try to wrap it down.
We do not have 2 minutes.
We do. We have less than that. We have a minute.
I could
My
do it.
5-month-old German Shepherd is still housebroken. What can I do?
Crate training and supervision on a leash when outside of crate. You need crate to build up the whatever length of time that your puppy can hold it, and so you need a better routine. Private message us for potty training information, and I forgot. Oh, water. Watch water.
Limit your water intake.
Thank you.
1/4 inch. Let them finish it. Wait 10 minutes. See if they still need more.
Yep.
When they're out and they're on that leash is tied to you. Where you go, they go. Don't let them roam away from you or room away, otherwise you have a body accident.
Okay. How do I get my 2.5-month-old Shih Tzu Pomeranian mixed breed to use the restroom on a pee pad? He keeps missing it. Dogs do not instinctively know how to go on a pee pad. You need pee pads everywhere, wherever they are free, for a few weeks, and then you remove a pad for another 2 weeks, and then you remove another pad. It's a pain. Just teach your puppy
Use
to
a
go.
playpen. Put these pads in a playpen.
Yeah. And then
Otherwise, they're just going to walk next to the pads.
And teach them to go outside as well. 2 questions. Do you use chew toys? Kongs in crate. Only safe chew toys. Yes, like a rubber Kong.
Oh, in crate?
In crate, yeah. Any suggestions for the after bath time zoomie craziness? You answer that one. 8-month-old Labradoodle.
8-month-old, so that probably means it might even be a little bit destructive. Couch surfing, jumping off counters and things like that. I will put a leash on them and I will hold them while they do the zoomies. So at least it's not destructive, going crazy. I'm kind of containing them.
Same advice for Kona, the 5-month-old Portuguese water dog that's been getting too excited and getting bitey. Same advice for you. Sorry, go
You
on.
control the energy with the leash, and then you can start walking them back and forth, trying to use that energy for a training session. Energy unbridled is an explosion, but when you start putting in channels, come, sit, down, stay, drop it, leave it, fetch, heel, whatever it is, you put the energy into a positive channel that you've already taught.
In an assertive, calm tone.
Yes.
So this is not when you're excited and sit down.
No. Sit, down, come, heel.
Is that what you sound like when you're excited?
Yo, you have no idea.
So you're right, I don't. So whenever you redirect them with food or anything like that, it's got to be just really neutral, just good, sit, good, and redirecting with leash. That way you're not accidentally just redirecting all of that excitement, the yay, which I thought he was going to say that that's what girls sound like. That's why I put him on the spot.
I'm way smarter than that.
Yeah.
My girlfriend beats me up once a week for that.
Like backtracked like crazy. But anyway, that's what you want to do. You want to just keep it calm, neutral. If your dog gets out of control, freeze your feet. Movement creates stimulation. So wait for them to calm down and then start channeling it to other things. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. Next week, Wednesday, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Send us questions on
we have a lot of different channels now. Where we got,
yeah, we got all kinds of stuff.
direct message, we have TikTok, we have Google Messages. We got
Hurry
everything.
up. She said, hurry up.
There is no hurry up for us. We have so many channels. You'll find a way. Send us a message. We'd love to answer your question.